Hey Connor, it's Henry here. I'm gonna go ahead and do some completing the square problems for you. Let me see. I have one that has like 12 of them, but I'm just gonna do like six to to spare us the time. Completing the square, and I want to use different colors, so hopefully it all makes sense as I do it. I have a worksheet in front of me that says I'll start with number one. It has v squared plus 6v minus 59 equals 0. So the first thing I'm going to do different colors so you can kind of follow along what I'm doing. I'm going to add 59 to both sides. This goes away. So v squared plus 6v equals 59. That's the first step I do. Second step, I'm going to take this 6v over here. I'm going to divide by 2, which is 3. I'm going to square it, which will give me 9. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. When I do that, I have v squared plus 6v plus 9 equals 59 plus 8, which is 68. Good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to factor the left side with the x method. I'm going to have 6v up here and 9 down here. And what gives me the factors of 9 are 3 and 3. So I have v plus 3, because I have 3 to the second power, because I have 2 of them. So I gotta make sure I erase that for you so it looks a little bit better. Squared equals 68. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the square root on both sides. I'm going to go back to white. And the square root of 68, I can actually split that up because I believe 68 is divisible by 4. So I can do the square root of 4 times the square root of 17, which would give me 2 square root of 17. So I have v plus 3 equals plus or minus, because remember I take the square root, it's plus or minus, 2 square root of 17. I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. So v is going to equal negative 3 plus or minus 2 square root of 17. And that's my final answer. So my first step is here. I just added for 3 on both sides. Then the second step is I went ahead and I completed the square. So that's in green. Then I got 9 on both sides. Then the third step is I factored with the x method. And the final step is I went ahead, and I solved, solve for v. I'm going to do a few more examples, so hopefully it all clicks in, okay? Let me do another one. Let me do a squared plus 14a minus 51 equals to 0. I'm going to start again by moving 51 over. I'm going to add 51 to both sides. So I have a squared plus 14a equals 51. I'm going to take that 14, I'm going to divide it by 2, which gives me 7. I'm going to square it, which will give me 49. So I'm going to end up adding 49 to both sides. So I'm going to have a squared plus 14a plus 49, and 51 plus 49 is 100. Now I'm going to factor with the x method, 14 and 14a, sorry, and 49, which is 7 and 7. So I have 2 7s, so that means a plus 7 to the second power, because I have 2 of them, equals 100. I take the square root of both sides. So I have a plus 7 is going to equal plus or minus 10. Subtract 7 from both sides. A is going to equal negative 7 plus or minus 10. And that's my answer. And of course, if I want to go get real technical, I could do a is equal to negative 7 plus 10, which means a is equal to 3. A equals negative 7 minus 10, means a is equal to negative 17. So that plus or minus, I'm going to go ahead and add and subtract. And that's what I just did there on the far side. Let me do another one, number 3. I have x squared minus 12x plus 11 equals 0. Then I'm going to try to find some harder ones to do that involve. Do we have? Yeah, we do have some. Oh, that's what we do have some. Fantastic. So I'm going to move 11 over by subtracting it. So x squared minus 12x equals negative 11. I'm going to take that 12, which is my second term, divided by 2, which is 6, and square it to get 36. I'm going to add 36 to both sides. We have x squared minus 12x plus 36 equals negative 11 plus 36. Gives me 25. I'm going to factor the x method, negative 12 up here, and 36. I'm going to have 6 and 6. Make them both negative. So I'm going to know that x minus 6 squared is equal to 25. Going to take the square root of both sides. So it's going to become x minus 6 is equal to plus or minus 5. Add 6 to both sides. X equals 6 plus or minus 5. I'm going to go over here. When it's x equals 6 plus 5, I get 11. I do x is equal to 6 minus 5, and I get 1. And that's what I should have gone for my answers. Yep. X is 11, x is equal to 1. So those are pretty simple and straightforward. Now let's go to ones where it gets a little more complicated. This is going to be my fourth problem I'm going to do. So I have 5k squared is equal to, let me erase that little stray mark there on this, so I can see that better. Supposed to be Apple Pen. Equals 60 minus 20k. I'm going to divide everything by 5, because that's my greatest common factor. So k squared is going to equal 12 minus 4k. I'm going to have to move this k over. Let me just move everything over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 12. So it becomes k squared minus 12 equals negative 4k. I'm going to add 4k to both sides. So k squared plus 4k minus 12 equals to 0. They want us to do this with the completing the square method, and I'll do that. You don't really have to on this one, but I'll do it for the sake of consistency. So it's k squared plus 4k. Move this over by adding 12 to both sides. So that equals 12. I'm going to take the 4 divided by 2, which is 2, and square, which is 4. So it becomes k squared plus 4k plus 4. I'm going to add 4 to both sides, which makes this 16. So the factors of 4 are 2 and 2. So I can do k plus 2 squared is equal to 16. Square root on both sides, so k plus 2 is equal to plus or minus 4. Subtract 2 on both sides. Okay, that's weird. So k is going to equal negative 2 plus or minus 4. So k, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take both of these, negative 2 plus 4, which means k is equal to 2. Negative 2 minus 4 means k is equal to 6. Negative 6, that is. Sorry, negative 6. So those are my answers. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and I factor out. I did the greatest common factor, divide everything by 5. Then I moved everything on the right to the left by doing the opposite, which is, minus 12 and plus 4. Then I factored with the x method. Let me just make that clear here. This is going to be 4 and 4, which is 2 and 2. I add the 12 to both sides. I add 4 to both sides. 12 plus 4 is 16. Then I'm going ahead and I take the square root of 16, which is plus or minus 4. Then I subtract 2 on both sides. Oops. So that leaves me negative 2 plus or minus 4. Negative 2 plus 4 is just 2. Negative 2 minus 4 is just negative 6. Let me do another one that's a little bit annoying as well, on number 5. I have 6x squared minus 48 equals negative 12. I'm going to divide everything by 6 first, because that's my greatest common factor. So I'm left for x squared minus 8 is equal to, oops, I think, yeah, this is supposed to be an x right here. Sorry about that. And that'll be negative 2x. I move the 2x over by adding 2x on both sides. So we'll do x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So leaves x squared plus 2x equals 8. I'm going to take the second b term, which is 2x, divided by 2 to get 1, and 1 squared is 1. So I'm going to be adding 1 to both sides. So I'm going to do the x method next. The 2x on top, 1 on the bottom. Factors of 1 and 1 and 1. So I'm going to have x plus 1 because I have 2 1s. I'm going to the second power equals 9. Square root on both sides. X plus 1 is equal to plus or minus 3. I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. So x equals negative 1 plus or minus 3. So x will equal negative 1 plus 3, which means x is equal to 2. Then I'm going to do x equals negative 1 minus 3, x equal to negative 4. So those are my answers, 2 and negative 4. Then I'm going to do one more that's extremely annoying. It looks like it's going to be fractions, if I'm right. Hopefully all this is clicking. I'm going to do one last one for the sake of time. So I have 8x squared. Yeah, 8x squared plus 16x equals 42. Divide everything by 8. Wait a minute. Oh no. No way. 42 divided by 8 is gonna give me one ugly. Yeah, it's gonna be it's just fine. We'll make it work. So we have x squared plus 2x equals, let's leave that as a fraction. 42 divided by 8 simplifies by 4. No, not 4. Sorry, it's the wrong one. It's by 2. It's by 2 to get me 21 over 4. So I'm going to make it equal to 21 over 4. For the sake of space that's limited, because I'm on an iPad, I'm going to make sure I make the equal sign over here. There we go. Now I'm going to take that 2x. I'm going to divide it by 2 and squared, which means me 1. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So we're going to have x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals, now we have 21 over 4 plus 1. I'm going to add 4 on the bottom. So I'm going to, oops, not 4 on the bottom. I'm going to write a 1 whole and then multiply both sides by 4. So I'm going to have 21 over 4 plus 4 over 4, yeah. 4 over 4, which gives me 25 over 4. There we go. When I factor this guy out with the x method, I get x plus 1 squared equals 25 over 4. So the square root on both sides. So x plus 1 is going to equal plus or minus. The square root of 25 is 5. And square root of 4 is 2. Subtract 1 on both sides. So x is going to equal negative 1 plus or minus 5 halves. And I'm not going to bother to do all the math there. I'm just not. Okay, that was it, Connor. I hope this video helps you out, okay? I know it's kind of came out late, but that's because I had a lot of emergencies to do. I literally have, like, my house, the electric issue just happened again, so I have to call someone to fix it in the morning. But hey, if you need my help, please, you can always text me, okay? Good luck in studying and good luck on your final. I know you're going to do just fine, okay? See you later. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.